Hey, welcome to the Sunday preview for this coming Sunday, the 28th of January. And we have a reading from the Gospel of Mark right at the beginning, chapter 1. And it goes like this. Then they came to Capernaum, and on the Sabbath Jesus entered the synagogue and taught. The people were astonished at his teaching, for he taught them as one having authority and not as the scribes. In their synagogue was a man with an unclean spirit, and he cried out, "What have you to do with us, Jesus of Nazareth? Have you come to destroy us? I know who you are, the Holy One of God." Jesus rebuked him and said, "Quiet, come out of him." The unclean spirit convulsed him, and with a loud cry came out of him. All were amazed and asked one another, "What is this?" A new teaching with authority. He commands even the unclean spirits, and they obey him. His fame spread everywhere throughout the whole region of Galilee. The Gospel of the Lord. Well, if you ever go to the Holy Land, most likely you'll go to this town of Capernaum. This was a fishing village where St. Peter lived, and became the place where Jesus set up headquarters, so to speak. And the ruins of that town from Jesus' time have been unearthed, and you can see the stone huts all over, and even the foundations of the synagogue that Jesus was in. There was a 2nd century synagogue built there on top of the one Jesus was in, but right on the exact site. And just a couple hundred yards away, they discovered the house that was Peter's mother-in-law's house. And there's a church built on top of that on stilts, and you can look down through a glass floor. It's very moving because it really takes you back in time to what was going on when Jesus encountered this man possessed inside that synagogue. And it made me think when I was there about how the power of evil must have had a grip on that town, that people feared the power of the devil so much, and that the world was really exposed to that power before Jesus came into the world. And then Jesus could just walk into that synagogue, and the man that had terrified everybody was no longer powerful at all. With just a word from Jesus, he could silence him, and he could command him. And the people were amazed at the power of God coming into the world. And that's what it is in our day today too. We see so much evil all around us, but Jesus has that same power over that evil. Sometimes we see it in our personal lives when they get off track and we get derailed, and sin starts to take over and we give into the darkness. But the word of Jesus can expel that darkness from our lives, and only he has the power. Everything else we try to make the world a better place and to all get along and create peace, and none of it works in the long run. It's only when we call upon the name of Jesus that his power can come to bear on the things we fear the most. So we got to turn to Jesus, just like those people did, marveling at how he has the power to overcome what we fear.